Doing? It's Jeff Bessa, Charting Horse Value. It's May 4th, and I'm going to do this video on the Oaks and the Double. And boy, it's a busy week and a lot of noise out there. I've never seen, maybe it's just my ramping up on Twitter, but I've never seen so many different opinions and different videos. And my general advice to everybody is have fun. Don't bet too big. Don't bet beyond your budget, and just have fun. Most of the time someone comes to me and says, who do you like in this race? Or who do you think will win? They say, who do you think will win this race? And I say, well, theoretically, all the horses have a shot to win. It's who's the best horse to bet on. I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. But in the Oaks and the Derby, it's really not about that. It's a once in a year thing. You're trying to get the winner. You're trying to get a big exotic, and you're trying to get those kind of bragging rights. But, just don't complicate it. Have your own opinions. Have use, one, maybe two other sources. Don't go crazy looking at tons and tons of people's opinions, because they're all going to be different. And, you're going to get confused. So anyway, let's get to the Oaks. We're going to spend a little time on the Oaks. It's not a complicated race, and then we're going to spend quite a bit of time on the Derby. First of all, the Oaks is expected, last I checked on the weather, is expected to be bad weather with rain. So I think the track is going to be sloppy. It could be something different than that, and you need to watch how the track is playing. But historically, sloppy tracks favor horses on or close to the lead, okay? So if anything, it reinforced my opinion that I already had going into it. You can see my chart here. Echo Zulu is ranked on top and gets the spot play K plus grade with $24 of value. That's my pick to win. The horse was, and you can look at a lot of other stuff out there. There's a lot of people down on this horse because of the last effort. This horse was dominating competition last year at age 2 and made a very late start in the Fairground Oaks. That's not normal Steve Asmussen. Something must have been a little off with Echo Zulu for them to start so late. And the Asmussen family races their horses into shape. They're not usually ready to go first time out. So I think this horse may have been a little short that day. Definitely didn't run as good as she normally does, but she did still win barely. But I have a feeling this horse is going to move forward and win. Now, people are saying there's going to be honest pace in this race, and again, I don't agree. The other horses that have some pace are Turner Loose, who was well back of her in Fairgrounds, Ugiri, who's not even close to fast enough, and Venti Valentine, also not close to fast enough. I think Echo Zulu is going to get the lead, and it's not going to be that hard. So that's my pick to win. Now, there's 4 horses that everyone's talking about, and I really agree that one of those 4 horses is going to win. And if you like one of them, I'm not trying to talk you off of it. But those 4 horses are Echo Zulu, Secret Oath, Nest, and Kathleen O. Of the 4 of them, Kathleen O is my least favorite. It's quite a bit down the sheet. Closer, could be bad weather. And the horse is going to have more horses to navigate through than normal. I agree visually this horse has been very impressive, but I would advise against Kathleen O. Nest and Secret Oath both could win. Nest looked super good on a wet fast track at Keeneland. Secret Oath dominated in the Honeybee, I think it was, crushing Ugiri. And then ran very well. Got a rough trip and gets a major jockey upgrade here to Saez. So Secret Oath certainly could win. I would favor those 3, but I think the pace setup, the weather, the potential improvement you're going to see from Echo Zulu here, second start of the year, that's my pick. So over here, I got the win candidates. My primary win candidates are the 7 and 4. That's the W. The E candidates are the horses that I think would make up the exacta. Secret Oath, Hidden Connection, very, very usable. That morning line of 20-1 is hosed. You ain't getting that. But that horse is very usable. And of course, Kathleen O could close into the exacta. The tosses are with the asterisks. The double tosses are horses I'm very confident you don't need to use. The single tosses are horses that I struggled with a little bit. Desert Dawn off the win in Santa Anita. That's a closer. Venti Valentine has never finished out of the exacta. I think she's going to finish far back here, but you never know. So I struggled with the single asterisk tosses. Underneath long shots, Shahama. I want to toss this horse with a 13 post. I really do. I almost did. You get Pratt, you got Pletcher, first time in the U.S. Horse is undefeated. They paid like $450,000 for it. There's a chance this horse is better than we think. If you wanted to toss that horse, I wouldn't blame you. And then Nostalgic, pretty nice victory up in New York last race. Got a couple straight wins. Goddess of Fire wasn't embarrassed to Kathleen O. Those horses are pretty good prices. Could come in underneath. But, I think the race is pretty simple. I'm playing Echo Zulu to win. I'm probably playing Echo Zulu in my doubles. And if I was looking for a second horse, I would struggle between Nest and Secret Oath. But I'd go with Nest, who I think is the now horse, where Secret Oath may have peaked a little bit early, has been racing nonstop without any breaks in training, might need a freshening before she's ready to fire her best again. So I'm going to go Echo Zulu, Nest, and maybe Secret Oath in third. Okay, that's how I see the Kentucky Oaks. All right, now we're going to go to the Derby. All right, and we're going to go through the horses one by one. And I'm going to talk to them, and then I'll show you the chart. Okay, so first of all, Mo Donegal, closer. Okay, we'll talk about pace in a little bit. But I thought that Wood Memorial effort was impressive. The time was 1:47.4. Speed figure people don't have it that fast, but I thought that was an impressive effort. Horse was on the rail, and I expect a similar trip here. Horse is going to save ground on the rail and come running. Okay, good horse. Notice the Holy Bull, however. This horse was beaten pretty soundly by White Abario and Simplification. And in the Remsen, there was this bumping incident and no DQ. But in the Remsen, there was some debate on whether Zandon should have actually won that race. Those horses were very, very even. So I do kind of see Mo Donegal and Zandon as being very similar, deep closers. They're going to need some luck. They're going to need to get the trip, and they're going to need a very hot pace in front. But those are by far the two best closers in the race. All right, then there's Happy Jack. Easiest toss maybe in the race. This horse was beaten 12 lengths by Taba, was 10 lengths behind Messier. This horse has never been competitive at this level, and then today gets blinkers off. I don't even know what to think about that. This horse is an easy toss. Epicenter. This would be my top selection. Horse was very impressive in the Lecomte. Set a pretty good pace and got caught by Call Me Midnight. And then, and by the way, beat Cyberknife in that race convincingly. Then came back, and a very tough Risen Star was not favored. Smile Happy was, I think, the favorite. And absolutely crushed. Was under a gallop, okay? And Smile Happy and Zandon were all in behind him, and were not gaining ground. And this horse just galloped easily up front and crushed. Then with his spot secured in the Derby, he basically rated on purpose. He didn't have to. He could have gone to the lead easily in the Louisiana Derby. He was rated on purpose for training, and he rated quite well. Rated behind Zozos and Pioneer Medina. And then even in the turn, he relaxed a little bit, fell back a little bit further just to give him some room. And then he exploded outside both horses, blew by them in a second. and then was geared down late in a hand ride. It was a very impressive effort. Now he's got a rest. The horse had been racing pretty much nonstop since November, so he gets a 6-week rest now off that top effort. Ran going 9.5 furlongs. I think this horse is ready to fire a huge effort. I love the 3-hole here. We know he can rate and take to the rail. He's probably going to rate behind Summers tomorrow, just behind him like he did Zozos. And he can easily outrun the 1 and 2 horse and just get a perfect ground saving position. And then he'll just have to find his spot to turn for home, and I expect a big effort. So this is my top selection, and let's keep going. Summers tomorrow, very interesting horse. This horse is a sprinter that got the rail at Maidan. The rail is where you want to be at Maidan, and speed is where you want to be. And this horse got the rail and ran very impressively. But if you watch the replay, the horse was tired, okay? I think both him and Crown Pride were switching leads late, very tired. And, it's not going to get the same setup here. It's not going to get this golden rail. It's not going to get, any favorable situation. Going to be under some pressure early and should tire badly. So I think this is a easy toss. 5 is Smile Happy. You're going to see my chart later. The chart's pretty high in Smile Happy. And I can see why. He, had the impressive Jockey Gold Cup. Then, got a pretty good figure in the Risen Star, but again, losing Epicenter. And then made a nice move in the Bluegrass, but then got passed badly by Zandon. And I just don't like horses in the Derby to win. They can sometimes hit the board. And you could possibly play this horse to hit the board. But I don't like horses that get passed like that by 2.5 lengths. If they hold on and lose by a nose or a head, maybe that's okay, like Funny Side did. But I don't like when they get passed badly, okay? So I'm kind of against this horse. And then you got to look at the Run Happy on top. That does not sound like a 10 furlong horse. So that kind of reinforces my decision. And I think this horse basically is going to get outrun early, going to get shuffled badly back, going to get a tough trip, and is not going to do anything. All right, then we're to Messier. You can make a case that this is the second fastest horse in the race. And sorry, my dog is bothering me here. Hold on a second. All right. You can make a case that Messier is a very talented horse. Won the Robert B. Lewis by 15 lengths. Very talented. Was obviously Baffert's horse. I don't think there's any negative to Baffert going to Yakteen. I think you're basically getting the same outfit. The assistant trainer, Jimmy Barnes, is still working there. Now, supposedly he was off in the Santa Anita Derby. I'm no expert on that. He looked fine to me. But there's some people out there that say he was a little off, and that might make sense because he took 2 months off from the Robert B. Lewis to the Santa Anita Derby, which I think is highly abnormal for a Baffert horse. So maybe the horse was working out of something and might improve now. Okay, this horse is going to be very handy early in the race, and so I like Messier a lot. This is a major threat to win. I'm not saying I want this horse to win. I'm just saying that this horse is legit, okay? All right, Crown is tomorrow. This horse is the buzz horse, okay? And getting way too much love off a bunch of 46-second fast workouts. Was a tweet about how he's getting dressage type training and he's very balanced in his front end. There's a lot of overreaction and over information in the Derby. A couple positive things. First of all, obviously the horse, has got a couple decent wins in Japan, and then by the way, that King Kamehameha on the broodmare side, that's a very good broodmare sire. And he got outrun quite early. If you watch that race, he was like 5 wide into the turns, and you really don't want to run wide at Maidan. So the horse was trying to show some speed and kind of just got outrun. Made a pretty huge move, going by everybody and getting in the lead. Looked like the horse was just going to open up and blow everybody away, but then got into a dogfight with Summers Tomorrow, and they were fighting down the lane, and very late, kind of pulled forward by a few lengths, really just because Summers Tomorrow got so tired. But this horse was quite tired as well. I'll acknowledge the positive comments on him make me curious what to do with him. Christophe Lemaire, who knows? You're going to have a lot of very aggressive American jockeys in here. And this Lemaire better be aggressive. Otherwise, he's going to get shuffled back. And if he gets shuffled back, I think it's over for this horse. If he is somehow in the top 5 or 6 horses early, then maybe and he got a good post draw, then maybe Crown Pride could do something decent, but there's a huge threat that this horse just gets shuffled back. And no Dubai horse has ever won the Derby, so I'm overall against. Charge It, get Saez. Saez is going to be aggressive right out of the gate. Now, if you watch that Florida Derby, he was aggressive, but got outrun. In fact, he was 5th down the going into the first turn. And then as they went into the turn, he tucked into the rail, whereas White Barrio got floated extremely wide. Classic Causeway kind of blew the turn a little bit, or somebody blew the turn, I can't remember who. White Barrio got floated extremely wide and lost 3 lengths to this horse, around that turn, at least 3. Then White Barrio hustled up past Charge It, got into contention going into the turn, and went on to win the race. White Barrio's run was much more impressive than Charge It's. Charge It actually got outrun a little bit on the turn. The final turn for home got outrun a little bit, was outrun a little early, despite Saez being aggressive. And then was lugging in twice in the stretch. And that's what everyone said. Oh, he's inexperienced. He lugged in. If he doesn't lug into the Derby, he would have won that race. But who knows? White Barrio, in my opinion, ran a better race. Charge It needs to improve dramatically. Saez will be aggressive again, but I think he gets outrun early. But if Saez gets this horse into the top 6 early, this horse has the pedigree to run all day. So this is a horse I definitely think can hit the Tri-Super, and just like he hit the Florida Derby Exacta. I just don't think this horse can win. Tis the Bomb. Really impressive Jeff Ruby Stakes. Tawny Port, who he beat, Tawny Port, who he beat, and the other horse, just Tawny Port, sorry. Tawny Port that he beat came back and won the Lexington with a huge figure, So Tawny Port exploded dirt to turf, And, synthetic to dirt. My word's right. Tis the Bomb is capable of doing the exact same thing. It happens. These polytrack or Tapeta horses can move forward first time they go on the dirt. Now, you look at this horse's past performances. He does have a dirt win in a weak field at Ellis. And then he was on the turf. He was extremely competitive on the turf. Lost by 1.5 lengths to Tis the Bomb, who's very good. And I think I bet this horse. Tis the Bomb in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He beat me. Oh no, I didn't. I'm sorry, no, I didn't. Because he actually did win the race. Bonner Games was running for purse money only. So Tis the Bomb basically won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And then he has this horrible Holy Bull. People are saying it was because he took dirt in his face. Or maybe it is because it was first start of the year and he wasn't fully cranked. I don't know. He then ran 2 impressive races at Turfway. The second, I thought that Jeff Ruby was very impressive. A lot of people are tossing this horse. He's 30-1. He's going to come closing. I think this is a good horse to be using underneath in your exotics like tries and supers. A very good horse to use. Probably can't win, but Brian Hernandez is, I think, a good jockey. Will get this horse a good trip, and this horse has a legit shot of making an impact at huge odds. Zandon, the best closer in the race. I don't know how he's favored. Might take a bunch of money from Mattress Mac, or maybe Mattress Mac's going to bet on Epicenter. But by the way, you could bet, you could find some fixed odds out there on both those horses if you wanted that are better than their morning lines. So, excuse me. So anyway, horse is good. Really good horse. Very impressive bluegrass. If the pace melts down and falls apart, this is the horse that probably wins. Best closer in the race and got a great jockey on him. And I think the 10 hole is a decent hole. He doesn't sit in the gate very long. So there's a lot of positives here. I just think that, they're going to have too much to do, and it's better to use this horse just underneath. So we don't know what the track, by the way, is going to be. I think it'll be fast by the time they run the Derby, but we're not sure. You're going to have to pay attention to that. Pioneer Medina is a horse I was really excited to draw into the field and was definitely going to use this horse, but I do not like the Joe Bravo and I do not like the blinkers off. So I am going to put this horse into the toss category. I think he's going to get shuffled back further than ever before and will not make an impact on the race. Taba. Everyone's talking about Taba. Supposedly was unsound after his maiden victory. Of course, he raced a month later, so he must have been sound. Then supposedly he missed a work, but then he just got a workout the other day going 38 and change. That's not even showing up on this chart here. You got the bull here, 112. He ran another work at 38 and change. This is the fastest horse in the race. That was a very impressive effort. The horse is very good out of the gate. Both his efforts, both his sprint and in his route, he was out of the gate quick. He got caught a little wide into the first turn at Santa Anita. He dropped back and then made an explosive move and beat Messier convincingly. And Messier was fighting all the way to the stretch. If this horse breaks clean, which I expect he would, he's a major threat to win it all. Okay? However, sometimes horses don't break clean. This is the Kentucky Derby. It's 20 horses going 10 furlongs, 150,000 fans, carrying 126 pounds. Last year, a couple horses didn't break clean and the race was over. And it could happen to this horse. This horse didn't race at 2, only has 2 races experience. Something could go wrong at the start, and if that happens, the race is probably over for this horse. But if he breaks clean and is sitting 5th early, which is where I think he'll be, I think he's a massive threat. All right, Simplification. This horse has raced 4 times this year, has been beaten twice by White Abario, and once even had the lead and then gave it up, especially in his last race, was passed by a couple lengths, passed by 2 horses, in fact. So this horse is a toss to me. I don't see this horse making an impact. Going to get, I think, shuffled back and no chance. Barber Road. This is a deep closer. I hope he's a deep closer. I hope Raylu is very patient on this horse, tries to get this horse a good saving ground trip into the first turn. Going to be a little tough on the 14 hole, but hopefully he doesn't get too rough a trip and is able to find a good hole. And then it's got to get an inside trip coming for home. If this horse swings 8 wide in the stretch, he'll do nothing. If this horse stays inside, fights his way through some holes, he is a grinder, okay? He has grinded in his last 3 races. He's not slowing down. He's not really accelerating either. Horses are slowing down in front of him. And I think he'll go the full 10 furlongs. And I think this is a horse that can grind up possibly in a second, but definitely in a 3rd and 4th. I like this horse more than Cyberknife, okay? Because he's a deep closer, because he's a grinder, because he's been competitive inside in tough spots. He's been inside, trapped between horses, and he's found his way through, and he keeps fighting all the way to the finish line. I think this horse has a huge chance to hit the board at a bomb. White Barrio, I've already talked about this horse a little bit. He's getting a little disrespected. I think you're going to get all of that 10-1 and some. I think this is maybe the fourth most likely winner, fourth or fifth most likely winner, and is not getting a ton of respect. The problem with this horse is the 15 hole, and he got outrun by Classic Causeway early and was like 4 wide in that first turn of the Florida Derby. That's not a good sign. So he's going to have to outrun Classic Causeway. And it's possible. We'll talk about that in a second. If he does, maybe he can get over, stay in the top 6 horses early, move up, make a nice run at the end. And this is a fighter. This horse is a tough horse. But I'm concerned with the 15 hole and his running style, and he might get shuffled back. Cyberknife, this horse to me is a toss. He got shuffled back, and he's going to get shuffled back. He got shuffled back in the Arkansas Derby, didn't put up a huge fight, and he's going to get shuffled way back here. I think this horse is not going to be a factor. By the way, this horse was badly beaten in the Lecomte by Epicenter. And I think going 10 furlongs, Barber Road is a better play at the Arkansas Derby. Classic Causeway, really, I don't think this horse has a shot. This horse is extremely fast out of the gate. And I assume he'll be extremely fast out of the gate this time, but the jock downgrade from IRAD to Le Peru is very concerning. I don't think Le Peru is aggressive enough. If Le Peru does what I think he'll do, this horse will be laying second or third early. Still going to tire and lose, but then he is crossing over in front of a lot of horses, causing some pinching, and affects other horses' races. If this horse doesn't break well and is caught wide with Le Peru up, then that really opens things up for horses like White Barrio or Charge It to get better spots early. But this horse is a toss. Tawny Port really liked his effort in Lexington, bet him, got 5-1, but toss here. Cannot bet this horse. Says the Bomb is better, and that 18 hole is a bad draw. Zozos. Zozos' success in this race is largely tied to Classic Causeway. I don't think he can outbreak Classic Causeway, but if Classic Causeway breaks well and crosses over, Zozos might just follow that horse over. But if he did that, and if Epicenter won the race, this is maybe a horse that could hit the try. But I don't love the horse from the 19 hole. And if Classic Causeway breaks poorly and doesn't get over, Zozos is going to have to tuck in and get shuffled too far back, and it's over. This horse got passed in the stretch. Granted, it was only his 3rd lifetime start. That was an impressive effort. Brad Cox is a great trainer. This horse, I don't know about Munnings as a sire for 10 furlong horses, but I'm not completely tossing this horse. But if you wanted to toss him, I wouldn't go against you. It's a tough spot, 19 hole. And then 20 Ethereal Road. This horse is so heavily raced, hasn't had a break since October, ran back-to-back weeks, and really is showing nothing. The only thing this horse has going good for it was a couple of races back in January, February. Horse is not the same horse anymore. This horse is an easy toss, not going to be in the picture. If the 21 and 22 draw in, which doesn't look like they will, they're both tosses as well. All right, let's go to the chart. All right, and let's talk about it. So what I try to figure out is which horses, and this works every year, by the way, which horses will be in the first 6 early. And those horses are getting an F. So the horses I think will be in the first 6 horses early are Epicenter, Messier, Classic Causeway, and Summer and Tomorrow. And again, I already told you what I thought about Classic Causeway. There is an outside chance with Le Peru up that he doesn't get there. But based on the data, those 4 horses should be in the front 6. A horse in the front 6 is going to win this race again. Now, it's possible there could be a massive speed meltdown, and then a horse like Zandon will probably win. But It hasn't happened since 2013, and that race was in the slop. No mid-pack horse, and if you have a blank next to the horse's name, that's a mid-pack horse. No mid-pack horse has won the Kentucky Derby since Animal Kingdom. Okay, and I don't even know when the one before that was. Maybe Real Quiet. So mid-pack horses have no shot. It's basically front runners, unless there's a hot pace, and then it just sets up the closers. So the front runners are those four. The B horses are the closers that I like are Zandon and Tis the Bomb, Mo Donegal, and Barber Road. Those are the four closers I like a lot, okay? And then there's Ethereal Road and Happy Jack that will also be closing, and I don't like them at all, okay? And then I have these FM horses. These are the horses I think could theoretically get into the top 6. And that's White Barrio, and that's especially if Classic Causeway doesn't run his race. Taba, who I think is fairly likely, but a 2-year-old. I mean, no 2-year-old experience, only has raced twice. Zozos, but again, the outside draw and very dependent on Classic Causeway to run well. Crown Pride, who's been throwing up 46 and 4 bullets, but you got a French jockey up, and you got no horses really won the race from Dubai. This horse easily could get shuffled back. And then Pioneer Tomorrow, but Pioneer Tomorrow blinkers off. I don't like that angle. So it's difficult to tell, okay? But it seems to me that if I had to bet, I'm going to say Taba makes the front, and I'm going to think that either White Barrio or Zozos makes the front, okay? And that really, it's important. Those horses in the first 6 early get to decide when to run. They get clean trips. They don't lose that much ground. And the best horse will win, the best of those 6. I could be wrong about which are the 6, but probably those Epicenter, Epicenter, Messier, and Summer Tomorrow. I'm not wrong about those 3. All right, then I'm looking at the win candidates. I already told you I like Epicenter. I'm going to be playing the Winchell double, Echo Zulu to Epicenter. I think it's a good double. I think he can win. I think Taba could win if he gets a clean trip. He's fast enough, and I think Messier can win. It's hard for me to see anyone else winning this race. Horses I would use in the exacta are Zandon, closing from the back, White Barrio, who hopefully gets a decent trip, but it's a fighter, will fight all the way to the stretch. Mo Donegal, definitely a good closer, gets a rail trip, could close, hit the exacta. Those are the horses I like the most to hit the exacta. And then horses you can use underneath. You can use them in second, you can use them in third, you can use them in fourth. Are Charge It, Tis the Bomb. I told you how much I like Tis the Bomb at a price. Zozos maybe, Barber Road, okay? Everybody else, I'm calling a toss, including some controversial horses, okay? I'm going to throw out the controversial horses that are tosses. Smile Happy, who gets the plus grade. I know I'm tossing a horse with a plus grade, but I just think this horse is going to get shuffled back. He only gets a single toss, okay? Simplification gets 2 tosses. Cyberknife 2 tosses. Crown Pride, with all the buzz, I'm only giving him 1 toss. Tawny, Rattle and Roll, Classic Causeway, Summer's Tomorrow, Pioneer Medina. I like this horse until I saw the blinkers off. So he gets a single toss. Rich Strike, Ethereal Road, Happy Jack, those are all the big tosses, okay? If you look at this chart, first of all, it's a 1 race. My chart's not confident. There's very little value anywhere. The morning lines are set pretty well. There's no A horses in the race at all. It's very wide open. You could have your own opinion and have fun with this thing. But you've heard my opinions. I think Epicenter, Messier, or Taba with a good trip win the race. And I think it goes Echo Zulu Nest to Epicenter and Messier in the double. That's probably how I play the double. All right. A lot of information I covered. I hope you liked the video, and we will talk to you later. Good luck on Friday and Saturday.